Good morning, and once again, welcome to my channel. And today, I want us to talk about decimals and how to convert fractions into decimals. Converting fractions into decimals. Converting fractions into decimals. And I just want to take a very simple fraction like 3 out of 4. And if you would want to convert this fraction into decimal, you simply divide normally, and this is 3 divided by 4. And because 4 cannot go into 3, we write 0. And then at that point, we are now allowed to bring the decimal point, so that this 3, we add 0, we get 30. And then 30 divided by 4, it's 7. 7 times 4 is 28. We subtract we subtract 30 minus 28 is actually 2, and we bring 0 again. Then 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 5 times 4 is 20, and that's the end of the story. So 3 out of 4 is simply 0.75, and that is it. And from there, I would want to introduce what we call recurring decimals. Recurring decimals. For instance, recurring decimal is a decimal that repeats itself periodically. For example, we have 0.3333. Moving forward, 3 does not come to a stop, and we simply write it in terms of 0.3, and there's a dot on top of the recurring number. If we take that to be 1, then we could be having another one that looks like 0.324, and 324 recurs, so we write it in terms of 0.324, and there'll be a dot on top of 3 and top of 4, meaning that those are the digits that are repeated: 324, 324. And how do we write them as fractions? That is our lesson today. If I may want to take the first one and probably use it to outline the steps. Step number 1, write that decimal in terms of x, and let's just have x is equals to 0.3333. And then step number 2, and this is the most important, write in multiples of 10. Write that number in multiples of 10, meaning that we are going to have 10x, and 10x means this decimal point to move to this point, so we're going to have 3.3333. Write them in multiples of 10 until, and this is the most critical, until you have 2 identical numbers after the decimal point. After the decimal point to the right, we have 2 identical numbers. So you realize this is 3333, and this is still 3333. So we have them. If we can call this equation 1 or part 1, and this is part 2, then step number 3, we take part 2 minus part 1, and that is exactly what we are going to do. So we have 10x minus x is the same as 3.3333 minus 0.3333. The reason why we must have 2 numbers which are identical after the decimal point is so that after we subtract, we are going to get a whole number. So 10x minus x is simply 9x, which is equals to 3.33 minus 0.33, which is actually 3. And from this particular point, we need to get our original x. So you divide by 9 both sides, and by 9 both sides, and you realize that our x is 1 over 3. That is as far as the part one is concerned. Let me explain part two, which is this one, which is a bit complicated, but we are going to go through it. Part two, we have x is 0.324324. What about 10x? I'm just going to take 10x. What about 10x? 10x is 3.24324. And at that point, we don't have two identical numbers after the decimal point. So we move on. This is 324 and this is starting with a 2. So we go to the next multiple of 10, which is 100x, which is for us to get 100x, we simply need this decimal point to move 2 steps to the right. And we're going to have 32.4324 moving forward 324. And so far, we still do not have two numbers which are identical after the decimal point. This is 324, this is 2, this was starting with 3, this is starting with 2, this is starting with 4. So we need to go back to the next multiple of 10, which is 1000x. 1000x means this decimal point moves 1, 2, and 3 steps, which is going to be 324.324324. And there we are. If you look at these, and these are very identical, this and that. The first one and what we have just, that is x and 1000x. So what do we do? This is part one or equation one, equation two, equation three, and relation three or equation four. And we have to use those two which are identical after the decimal point. So what are we going to do? We're going to have equation 4 minus equation 1. Let's arrange them now here. 1000x, which is equals to 324.324324 minus x, which is again equals to 0.324324. And if you look at this, we are going to get 999x, which is 324 actually minus 0, which is 324, because after the decimal point, we will get a 0. So it means now if you want back our x, we're going to have to divide both sides by 999 and 999. And clearly, our x is going to be 324 over 999. I am very sure we can simplify this. I'm very sure we can simplify this. If we take by 3, 108, by 3, 333, by 3 again, we can have 36, by 3 again, 111. I think by 3 again, we can talk of 1, 2, and by 3 again, we can talk about 3, 7. And our final answer, as far as this one is concerned, is going to be 12 out of 37. And that is just like it. Thank you. Watch out for more videos.